Here's a neat little cryptocurrency puzzle for you, but you'll need a bit of historical background first. So back in August 2017, Bitcoin Cash split off from Bitcoin Classic. So now we had two Bitcoin blockchains that were identical in history up till August 2017, and then they diverged. Fortunately, the Bitcoin Cash developers did something to fix what is known as a transaction replay bug. And an analogy for a transaction replay bug is, imagine two banks, or rather no, imagine one bank splits into two banks and they have a different logo on the door, but they both continue using exactly the same design of checkbook. That would mean that if you wrote a check with one bank, it could also be cashed at the other bank. So although you have two accounts, you can use any check written for one bank in the other bank as well. So as a result, if checks are magically sent across the network, then whenever you do a transaction in one bank, a mirror transaction will happen in the other one. Now, this didn't happen with Bitcoin Cash because they fixed the bug by effectively redesigning the checkbook. So Bitcoin Cash transactions have a different structure to Bitcoin Classic transactions, and this replay bug is no longer there. However, in November 2018, I think it was, there was a squabble in the Bitcoin Cash community and another fork happened, and then we ended up with Bitcoin SV. And I'm not going to say what SV stands for, you can look it up yourself, but what happened there was neither group would stand down or change the way that transactions work. And as a result, if you had some Bitcoin Cash in an account before this split, now you have Bitcoin SV in a similarly named account with the same private key, and if you send a transaction on one network, it's mirrored on the other. However, there is a way around this, and this is known as splitting those two coins. And what you do is you create, for example, a new Bitcoin Cash address, and you send some split coins to it, a small quantity that you would typically buy off an exchange. And exchanges have split all their coins because they don't want to be giving away free Bitcoin SV every time they're transferring out some Bitcoin Cash. And now the history between that address on the Bitcoin Cash and the Bitcoin SV blockchain are different, and as a result, when you send some of your Bitcoin Cash or all of your Bitcoin Cash, sweep it out of that earlier pre-fork account into the new address, the Bitcoin SV amount doesn't follow along on the Bitcoin SV network. So that solves the problem of these conjoined coins by splitting them. So here's the problem. How did the first split cash actually come about? And I had to think about it for a good 5 minutes before I came up with the answer. So if you think you've got a good grasp of what's going on at this kind of level of things, give that problem some thought and let me know what you think the answer is. And I'll reveal my answer in a day or so. Bye for now.